What's wrong with your face?
Hey, welcome everybody. You showed up at the perfect time. You see, today is a very special day for the Institute. We just built a new edition for our latest display. It's our first PlayStation 1 game. We're taking a look at Kingsley's Adventure, an adorable mashup of N64 style games, taking visual and mechanical inspirations from Ocarina of Time, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I even got a Spyro feel from it in places. It also inherited some not so great PS1 regular bugbears, such as the classic Resident Evil 1 tank movement and some janky hitboxes. But despite all these things, it felt bigger than the sum of its parts. A gestalt, if you will. Uniquely its own experience, despite so much contemporary influence. Alright, let's get to the intro of the game. We start off with an exposition told via hand puppets.
The Fruit Kingdom was not always so peaceful. An evil wizard disguised as a chef stole the Queen's Book of Magic and sent the kingdom spiraling into despair. One by one, the defenders of the realm were overcome by Bad Custard's evil magic and forced to become the Dark Knights, the scourge of the kingdom. All hope seemed lost until an unlikely hero emerged to challenge the tyranny of the evil rodent. Kingsley, an orphaned fox cub, small in size but large in spirit.
Well, that was a great summary, but there's actually more to the story here. Let me read you the prologue in the game's manual. Warning! This game is very British. Bad Custard sat down with the book on his lap. It was dusty, and it smelt of mold. Fat, juicy bookworms peered up at him from between the pages and blew raspberries at him, but he just sneered back and squished them between his fingers. He stroked the leather binding and caressed the gold letters as he read them yet again. Book of Magic, it said. And in a handwritten script at the bottom, it said, "To my dearest Queenie, happy 407th birthday. You don't look a day over 350. Love from the King." Bad Custard opened the book and coughed as the dust clouded around him. He pried the crisp pages apart. As he did so, he felt a dark power surge through him. He could tell he was in for some fun. Chapter 1, in which we meet Kingsley, the hero of the game. Once upon a time. That's how all good fairy tales begin, and it's how this one begins too. Although if you're expecting magic beans, glass slippers, and the odd long-haired lass stuck up a tower, you'll be sorely disappointed, because this one features, well, that would be telling. You'll have to play it to find out. Though I think we're safe in saying it's the first one to include a ninja backflip. So let's start again. Once upon a time, there was a fox cub called Kingsley. He lived in Carrot Castle, home of the king and queen of Fruit Kingdom. And though they brought him up as their son, it was obvious from his unmistakable fox features that he didn't really belong to them. Kingsley knew that his real dad was a brave, true knight who had long since departed the scene. He was proud of him, of course. True knights were the most noble soldiers of the realm after all, but sadly, he remained a very distant memory. Old Wrinkle, an aged badger, with a passion for deep wisdom, took the young Kingsley and tutored him in the ways of a warrior. Kingsley often wondered how a crumpled old creature like Wrinkle came to know the ins and outs of duffing people up. But whenever he plucked up the courage to ask, the knowing badger would reply, "Your father was inquisitive too, Kingsley, and look what happened to him. Not that you had the chance to know him." So Kingsley got his head down and learned Old Wrinkle's tricks, and before long he was able to perform some neat attack combos of his own, including the ninja backflip we mentioned before. Carrot Castle's kitchens were once known throughout the land for the delicious nosh they served up every tea time. Some days it was squished mangoes with loganberry dripping. Other days it would be pineapple lard topped with crusty cranberry croutons. But whatever it was wonderful, and whatever they ate it with carrots. Unfortunately, after self-taught chef Bad Custard joined the crew, there was a spat of food poisonings, which left the king sitting on his throne for days on end. Bad Custard was hounded from the castle, and in a fit of rage he stole the queen's magic book and began to learn all manner of nasty spells. The magic was strong, and Bad Custard grew more powerful. He enslaved no end of upstanding soldiers, and as his evil influence grew, he moved even closer to his goal. One day, he would take Carrot Castle for himself. So, our story takes place in the Fruit Kingdom, a land filled with all sorts of wacky cartoon animal citizens ruled by King Marius and Queen Angelica, Kingsley's adoptive parents. Their former chef, they found on Craigslist or something, turned out to be a bit of a devious boy, and served them Taco Bell, which made the king incontinent and allowed him to steal Angelica's enchanted book. The power of the queen's magic book allowed him to amass an army of unconsenting lackeys under his complete control. And with all the real knights turned into bad guys, it's up to us, the orphan child, to save the kingdom from that dirty rat. Like, come on, you guys have a dozen guards still. Can't one of them do it? You know what? Never mind.
I'm not loyal to anybody. I'm a demon. I have no loyalty for anyone. Never did, never will. Shorty chose to be with a demon. Sounds like her problem to me. Flipped a whole brick into an empire. Stop playing with me.
We chat with our aunt, who gives us our shield and tells us to go see the withered badger Old Wrinkle to get trained as a true knight. Like, what, as opposed to a fake knight? Anyway, we go downstairs and chat with Wrinkle, who's waiting for us in the hall. He tells us we need training to become a true knight and tells us to go to the training rooms down the hall. I decide to explore the castle first, and found the throne room. The king and queen are a bit too freaked out about the evil rat to talk right now. Alright, fair. Down this other hallway, we step into this mini-stage? Lounge room? I'm not sure, but there's a jester here we can harass. I imagine he talks like Goofy.
So you do admit that this very same footage right here, from the very same CCTV of you massacring a public elementary school, is you as well? What do you have to say for yourself?
Guilty.
We head back to the first training room, a jumping obstacle course. After that, we get our training weapons and face off against this rotund fellow here, who bonks us on the head and runs away until we whack him a few times, knocking him on his butt. Then to the crossbow training. Simples. Then even more dungeon mechanics, keys, switches, pushing objects. If you've played a Zelda game, you know all this stuff by heart. When we finish, our training weapons are confiscated. We teleport back to the lounge and are given our main quest, obtaining all the true knight items, a set of armor and weapons scattered throughout the realm. We talk to the king and queen before we set off, and they give us a direction to start. We're headed to Seatown, through the castle basement. The basement is through this library with giant books. It seems disrespectful to walk all over them like that, but oh well. Then we navigate this hallway and flip the switch to unlock the portal to Seatown. Hopping in, we get spat out at the beach. The characters here feel like they are straight out of SpongeBob. We chat up this goose and get told to talk with the barkeep of the Salty Sea Dog. Exploring the town, we talk with some of the eccentric denizens. Eventually, we make it to the bar. The bartender, Briny Jim, gets us up to speed with the man causing local troubles, Captain Gallagher, the resident pirate of Seatown, and our first boss. Jim opens up a secret passage to the lighthouse that leads us into Gallagher's hideout. Fighting swashbuckling eels and orcas, we make our way through the sandy tunnels under the lighthouse. After the tunnels, we hitch a ride on these pool floaties and drift from island to island until we meet face to face with the pirate captain himself. A walrus with a nasty temper. He shoot, he stab, he jump, he die. We reclaim the galleon for Seatown and set sail. This octopus pattern on the sail is dope. Jim greets us at the dock and thanks us for recovering his ship and dealing with their menace. He reminds us that the Dark Knight of Seatown is still around, but we need to get more True Knight items in order to reach him. Returning to the King and Queen, we are told that a dragon is attacking the impoverished town of Poor Luck, so it's once again up to this child to go deal with it. So now we head out to the courtyard, and we can see that Carrot Castle exists in this strange fog-filled liminal space. We can see a little bit of land outside, but it all feels so empty. So anyway, we hop in the portal to Poor Luck, and immediately we get Kingsley being racist to a swordfish. Profiling isn't cool, kids. He tells us that Snuff the Dragon has eaten all the town's food and diverted food shipments from the town to his castle. We explore Poor Luck and speak with its residents, destitute and starving. We learn from the bartender here that the dragon seems to be a picky eater, as he has left all the spinach when he robbed them. As I walk around town, I contemplated the implication of all these fish bones on the ground right next to this fish person. Who were they? Who were they, Jacques? Am I complicit in some crime if I don't report this? These dogs look vicious, but they just follow you around. Taking the advice from earlier, we look for the dragon's footprints and follow them to his hideout. What a castle, huh? Inside, we find a dungeon with very moody lighting. This is the part of the game that felt most fidgety due to the slippery floor on top of the janky platforming. We have these bats flying around, but they don't bother you. They're just set dressing. In one of the rooms, we find this giant piano puzzle. I love sound puzzles in games. It's an underused mechanic. This one is simple, just copy the notes on the wall. This troll guy seems like some sort of stereotype, but I'm just gonna leave that thought right there. Wow, you're the... Kingsley! You can't say that! Forging our way through traps and tribulations, we make it to the gluttonous dragon, Snuff. He runs around shooting fireballs at you from the darkness and rushing you with his fork and knife. We dodge and slash our way to victory. Kingsley, that's pretty cold, bro. I'm starting to think this fox is a little more malicious than we've been led to believe. In the next room, we find the stolen food and have to help get it back to town. We are tasked with flipping all the switches and reversing the conveyor belt. Once we do, we write it back to Poor Luck. Yeah, Kingsley, he seems like he could have been rehabilitated. He probably was a chill dude before his eating disorder. We head to the blacksmith to forge Snuff's fork and knife into a sword that turns out to be magical in nature. It's too heavy for the fox cub, but the rhino has an old pair of gloves that just coincidentally happen to be the true knight gloves that we've been searching for. They give us the strength to wield our new blade. We are also reminded about the Dark Knight who lives beyond a chasm outside town. Unable to reach him now, we head back to Carrot Castle. Speaking to the king and queen again, we are told that another village, Rosary, is in trouble. Something weird is going on with the townsfolk, and the king posits that it could have something to do with the monk's root beer. Heading through the barrel-themed portal, we show up in this dreary, hilly town. We get told someone poisoned the root beer, and now everyone is acting weird. The only sane person seems to be in the coffee shop, so we're gonna go there first.
Do you find that if you drink 5 cups of coffee, then you drink 7 more cups of coffee, that your head really hurts? Can you explain it?
The owner of the coffee shop hands us a mug of coffee. We'll use that later. Heading out and exploring more buildings, we check out this house. We walk in to find this donkey man, Stuart, drooping in the corner. He's gotten severely ill after drinking too much root beer. Gotta know your own limits, bud. Also, why are you here? We learn from the child upstairs that he lives elsewhere, and for that matter, why are you alone and inebriated around a child? British people.
No.
Nina takes him back to his own home to sober up. I can't get over how cute all the buildings and character designs are. Scott Butler was the lead artist on this project. You'll know his work if you ever played the Croc games. Up the hill, we find the tavern of this town, run by a big teddy bear named Uncle Alvin. The presence of taverns in every town, and especially the tipsy townsfolk here, give me some Conquer vibes. But I digress. Alvin tells us the root beer, made by monks in the nearby monastery, has been making people act silly. He wants me to go find the mayor, a guy named Sober Sid. Outside the town hall, a sleepy eagle keeps watch. This is where that mug of coffee comes in handy. Perking right up, he lets us in. Sid's hungover and gives us a password in order to get into the monastery. Heading back out and up to the top of the hill, we give the monk at the door our password and we're permitted to enter. Talking around with the monks inside, they point me to Abbot Harry. Down the hallway we find him and he tells us we need to go down to the catacombs and collect 3 herbs to make an antidote for the poison. We gotta start up the brewery to open the gate and head downstairs. We're dropped into a room made of bones, likely inspired by the famous Paris catacombs. This time we're fighting rhinos and these ape dudes. We solve a few Zelda puzzles and get the herbs. As we're heading back out, we are confronted by Brother Tim, one of the monks, who transforms into a bat and calls himself Clarence Darklord Jr., apprentice demon. I swear the sound effect he makes when hit is from something else. Anyway, he flies and shoots out a sonic attack, and in between he'll dive bomb at us. We just gotta block with our shield, which stuns him, opening up for an attack. After the final strike, the demon is defeated and the root beer is saved from further tampering. He implies that he's going home when he dies. Does that mean he really was a demon? Does Lucifer exist in the Fruit Kingdom?
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Abbot Harry mentions this isn't the first time they've had to deal with Clarence. He adds the herbs to the root beer, which cures the town from their inebriation, poisoning. We finally get the crossbow and our true knight boots. Heading back to Carrot Castle, we report our mission to the king and queen. They tell Kingsley that the local wizard, Cornflower, has been robbed by Bad Custard's minions, who stole his magic robe. We'll need to head to the land of Aphasia, a peaceful foggy land with trees and old ruins scattered about. This level feels like it's directly from Spyro. So let's talk about that name, aphasia, a real medical condition that impairs communication, normally due to brain damage, a stroke, disease, or even caused by tumors. What a lovely name for such a chill place. This particular part of the music makes me think of the Halloween theme. Talking with Cornflower, we are told the thief ran into the nearby ruins. Heading in, we travel down past the giant pool of slime and through the obstacle course. We get introduced to this level's gimmick, targets that act as switches. More Ocarina of Time action. We get the banana key and move on. I thought this was a mimic, but nah, just a bomb. The next room has this timed puzzle with a lot of platforming and targets, but we eventually make it through. More puzzles and enemies. We start seeing these big guys. He just stands there as I shoot him in the face. More platforms and timed puzzles. In this room, we got a statue that moves forward when we hit these switches. Walking past it, we grab the key and surprise, the statue comes to life. Could imagine little me getting quite a jump scare, but I mean, come on. Of course that thing's gonna wake up and attack me.
We got bagels! Whoa! We get you into bagels. Anticipating bagels. You're ready to go. I told him we had bagels. I'm gonna give you bagels, okay? Bagels!
Now, this was an interesting puzzle. We gotta shoot the bat when it flies over the center of the room, so it drops the lawn dart on the target. The next room has moving platforms that hung over that nasty goop. What is that anyway? It's like the radioactive goo in Half-Life. Anyway, I hate this level. You're a sitting duck as you wait for these platforms to move across. You gotta watch what angle the arrows fly out from the dark. Once we make it across to the other end, we now have to move blocks around and jump across. Check out this eager fella. More moving platforms, more pushing boards into goop. You enjoy that one, Gwyneth.
Organic food grade, so I mean you could eat it technically if you want some.
Yeah, let me try it. French fry on it. This is real deal.
Huh? Oh. Well, the rest of this level is more of the same platforming. We make it to the end where we have to lower this drawbridge. In the next room, we have a Crash Bandicoot booby trap room with massive rolling cylinders we have to dodge while getting all 4 keys up in the corners. After collecting the last one, we open a staircase that leads to this room with this platform that we have to raise by shooting the bullseyes. This leads us to a switch that opens the next area where we meet a couple prisoners who ask us to defeat Reggie, the nasty rat who runs this place and has taken them captive. We face him in the next room and he shows no remorse for stealing and kidnapping. So you know what that means? Time to die. Once we finish him off and reclaim the magic robe for Cornflower, we head back to the exit, but are confronted by Bad Custard. He taunts us and reminds us that we still have the Dark Knights to deal with, and then just, walks away. Well, this teleport takes us out of the dungeon back to Aphasia, heading over to Cornflower's house. This big old book here, we return his robe to him. He thanks us by giving Kingsley a magic gemstone for his shield. This guy is definitely living the bachelor life. We return to the king, who formally knights us and bestows on us the final quest, finishing this dastardly takeover once and for all. Now that we have all the true knight gear, we can start fighting Custard's Dark Knights. Let's start with the one here in Aphasia, across from Cornflower's bridge. This beaver guy, Jones, is standing here trying to figure out how to get in. He suggests there's a rumor going around that the eyes of the statue are key, so using our Hylian instincts, we find the special arrows and shoot them, opening this beehive dungeon. We push the honey cube around and nab the key to the boss's chamber. He sounds angry. Must be German. He likes to throw his axe and shoot magic missiles at us. We gotta chase him up these elevators swarmed with bees and try, but fail to dodge his attacks. Once we finish him off, the curse on Sir Orson is lifted. Now we'll head back to Rosary and use the gemstone our goat wizard friend gave us. Brandishing it, we activate a floating bridge of gems to the baddie's lair. The last gem delivers us into the bird fortress. Now we gotta fight this cranky old buzzard, and he loves bombing us with eggs full of spiders. He's only vulnerable when he has one in his grasp. Shuffling and shooting around, we bring him down. Sir Gawain reverts back to his noble form and makes a bird pun. Our next nemesis resides in Porluck, across the bridge that we can now jump with our true knight boots. Judas, the bull, talks smack to Kingsley and starts charging us. As one would expect, we have to crash him into the walls and attack him when he's stunned. He can also shake stones loose from the ceiling. Just gotta watch out for the shadows. Speaking of shadows, this guy is actually a little creepy and tense due to the super short draw distance inside the pit. He sort of vanishes and you gotta brace for the charge. He dies honorably and releases Sir Rufus. He thanks us and we head to our last mini-boss in Seatown. He's hiding out in an anchor-shaped boat in the harbor, and we need to use our true knight gloves to reel him into the shore. We board the vessel and clear the pirates, hitting the switches and using the teleport. We meet Rex, who chomps us, summons lightning clouds, and teleports away after each hit. He has the lowest health of the Dark Knights, so it doesn't take too long to defeat him. Once vanquished, he releases Sir William, and we head back to our adoptive parents. They congratulate us and unlock the final gate in the courtyard. Time to get Mama's cookbook back. Bad Custard's fortress lies in the center of a volcanic island, and it makes me think of the Deadlands from Oblivion. He lives in this big old furnace looking thing. Oh, don't ever say that again, please. We smack him up and chase him down. He teleports and shoots magic at us. When he's at his brink, he rushes to the center of the room, perched precariously over a boiling cauldron. He stumbles and falls into the pot. Kingsley dives for the book and saves it just in time. We're taken to Carrot Castle in the midst of a celebration for our triumph as credits roll. So the baddie was jailed and our kingdom saved. I really hope a lot of people got to play this game because it was an absolute treasure. As of time of writing, this game will run you $60 for a cheap used copy, and I've seen sealed copies listed at $350 or more. The studio who put this out, Psygnosis, passed through a few hands, being sold to Midway Games in 2009, and Midway itself being sold to Warner Brothers, and they don't offer any way to purchase the game. So it's, in essence, abandonware, albeit console abandonware. Not sure if there's a particular phrase for that. I recommend acquiring a copy of it in whatever means is financially responsible for you.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a recipe.
This concludes our tour today. I hope you all enjoyed my rambles. This game is an instant classic for me, and I highly recommend everyone play it. I haven't played something this cute in a while. I'll leave links to my relevant social medias and Patreon. If you want to support this project, you can sign up for $3 a month and get access to all my videos ad-free. Subscribe to stay tuned in for my next next video. Thank you all for coming. Have a splendid day.